Good afternoon. And you are tired repeating the third time, so I will not do that with you. Couple of things as we start. What I want to tell you is that we were actually thinking to stand and talk to you because I know we've been sitting down for quite a while, but they told me not to do it, so I dare not do that. But here's what I want you to do. You've been sitting down for quite some time now, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to look to your left and to your right and say, "It's good to see you," and with a smile on your face. Come on, everybody, right up there from the front row to the last row. See how hesitant they are. See? Lovely. It's getting better. It's getting better, and I promise you it will get even better. Needless to say, our topic for this afternoon is, and what a time when you are ready to go out, all of you are waiting, no heels dug on the ground, everybody is ready to sprint and say, "It's over, let's get out." But I promise you, give us this next 25-30 minutes and you will see, and you will go back having enriched with wonderful experiences across the panel. And I actually tried counting the years of experience that you see here. I stopped after I went beyond 75. And you do the math and you see years of experience right here on the panel for you. What I'll do first is I'm going to give them 30 seconds flat to tell me who you are, though your names are up, but talk more about what you do, and then we'll get into what we have for you today.
Hey, hi everyone. A very good afternoon. So my name is Archana Khai and I'm Senior HR Specialist at Trilogy Innovations. So basically I'm the global hiring lead here, and apart from that, I train and mentor new joinees whenever we have new intern batch or new full-time people, and I take care of operations admin part here.
Hi everyone, my name is Aurobindo Banerjee. I also go by Rishi Banerjee. I head talent acquisition for R&D at a company called Atlan. And for the students sitting here, I'll leave you with one thing about Atlan. We are one of those very few software companies wherein people have started, or stopped rather, writing handwritten code. I'll leave it at that and I'll uncover more as we move forward.
Hey, hi, hello everyone. I am Annapurna. And first of all, I am going to thank you Galgotia for providing me this opportunity. And I am handling TA vertical, leading TA vertical at FarEye. So FarEye is basically B2B SaaS product based organization, and we are catering first mile to the last mile deliveries for the supply chain and logistic tech sectors.
Good afternoon. So this is Sakshi Sen. It's not Sen actually. So I'm the talent acquisition manager at Inside, and I'm managing the campus hiring, lateral hiring, and apart from that managing the learning and development programs as well. And if I talk about the organization, so Inside is a solution integrator, and we are majorly focused on data, AI, and cloud transformation. So that's about me. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is Prabhanjan Prasoon, normally known as Prasoon in the market. I work with Birlasoft as a senior director, and this is my second inning with this company. I started my career, spent 7 years, moved to Sopra Steria, then again came back. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon everyone. Thanks Galgotias for conducting this session. Myself Nilima, I head the talent acquisition and people function at Pratilipi. In short, Pratilipi has 20 million plus IP system where we are making movies, web series, and running multiple podcasts and micro dramas in future. You guys are really doing great, and you guys are so in demand. We look forward to the discussion.
Thank you, and good afternoon everyone. Needless to say, my name, I'll make it shorter for you. I am known in the market, like Prabhanjan said, I am known as SN Rao. This afternoon, what we bring to you is a very important topic which says, do we hire for degree or we look for the skill? As we start, I want to just open it up to you, reverse it, because the last panel, fabulous as they were, but you know what, 12 minutes and we'll try not to go 12 minutes. We probably better them by about 20 minutes. But before we get there, how many of you sitting in the audience think that as recruiters that you see here, we'll hire for skill and not for degree? Can I see a show of hands quickly? Students, of course, yeah, because you have the degree. Anybody here that feels that skill is more important than degree? Some hands are here, some are slowly going up. Great. So let's unfold the mystery this afternoon. In 2026, the global job market, as you all know, has shifted towards a skill-based hiring, or as known as the skill first. However, this is where the recruiters prioritize what a candidate can actually do over what they have studied. Now, I'm not saying your degree is of no use, don't get me wrong. So there are a lot of companies today, and I will refrain from naming them. What they are doing these days is they have removed the requirement of a formal degree to be hired. Now, what does that tell you? If you go and look at some of the job postings, you will find that there is a wider pool talent that comes in regardless of where you are. It doesn't matter where you've come from, but where you go will make a difference. So with that, I'll open up the first question. That being the canvas, skills or degree. My first question, I'll put it across to maybe, between Sakshi or, Rishi and even Archana, if you want to take a take, feel free. My first question is there a tension between the degree and the skills? Is that what you and I think are going on? Or are we actually witnessing a genuine collision that's coming together to abandon the degree first mindset? So, is it a dichotomy? Is it a collision? Or are we saying that we've got to build a degree first mindset? Archana, maybe you can take a dig and then followed by Sakshi and then Rishi.
Okay. So hello again. So based on my hiring experience so far, when it comes to India hiring, traditionally all of us as recruiters, the first thing is going to be we look at the campuses, maybe we look at the skills that is there for sure. Because once you look at the resume, the college is just one line, one word. But you look at the skills, you need multiple skill set, like maybe the languages, frameworks, structures, whatever you require. But I think both goes hand in hand, because once you look at the skills, it will check the, capacity or capability of the students. But you cannot ignore the degree, because that shows, okay, you have the potential. You need certain benchmark, because if I am to hire and I hire globally, I cannot hire literally like, okay, everyone is open to hire. I need some filtering, right? So for that, I would definitely say that yes, I need college. I would not say I need this year, that year, but obviously certain college education is important. Just one quick example I'll add here, and then anyone can go next. So say for example, there are many degrees. You think of law, you think of a surgeon. I cannot claim that, okay, I'm a surgeon, I did a crash course from YouTube, now give me the job. No, right? You need a degree. The thing is, like, tech is evolving very quickly, very fastly. So in that also you need certain, skill set that you prove, okay, I have cracked JEE, or maybe I have cracked this college entrance test, so you have some potential. So that helps me put the trust in you. It's not about degree or skills, I would say, but it's more about trust. So I think both goes hand in hand.
So, right now the market has been shifted to skill-based hiring, but I will talk based on the India-based market specifically. Still, we are not ready for skill-based hiring only. I believe the combination of skill and degree is required. Degree gives you a foundational knowledge, and it builds discipline. It gives you ability to learn. While skill enables you to apply that learning in the real world scenario. And anyways, skills cannot be developed overnight. It takes a certain period of time. So the combination of both is required. A degree opens a door for the industry, but with the help of skill, you can grab that opportunity. So it's a combination of both in mind.
I wish the answer was as simple as this versus that, right? There are certain skill sets, certain roles, certain professions wherein you absolutely would need a degree as a mark of trust. A surgeon being an example. I read an article in the paper yesterday. Some hospital in Bihar, the doctor could not come on time, so the compounder actually completed the operation. The patient is alive and the operation was successful. Now this compounder, over the last 20 years, studied this doctor and what it does, and he was able to do it. So that's a classic example of developing skills while on the job, so to say. But would you trust him? If I was running a hospital today, would he be on my team as a panel of doctor? Absolutely not, for all the right reasons, right? So there are certain skills. Now, traditionally, why do we even have degrees? Let's ask ourselves that question. It's a first principle thought process that I'm asking you to drive. Why does the world have degrees, and why did they originate in the first place? For me, the answer is, if you had a particular degree, it was a mark of trust that you have these skill sets, or you have studied these skill sets, and hence you have been awarded this degree. Is that true in today's world? Questionable, right? So then what should be something that would really drive that I have these skills? Let's talk about AI in the world. I'll take 30 more seconds. You have sample projects that you're deploying, which will kind of talk about your skill sets. They may or may not be part of your curriculum, be part of your degree. One of the best software engineers, who's now an architect, that I've hired, actually was a mechanical engineer by degree. So it's all about the proof of skills that you can put together. If that coincides with what you're learning, amazing. If that goes beyond what you're learning, even better, but then you need to have proof. So to conclude, degrees, I think, are something that would get you to the table, but skills are what will get you into the door.
So here I want to add one practical scenario that currently happen in my company. So I agree with my fellow members also, degree is important, while skill is also important. But nowadays, like I can say, most of the SaaS based or startup organization, like moving toward skill based hiring. So I am also doing this currently. I've hired a lot of BD people. I can say they are only 12 pass, but they have done brilliant, they have brilliant skill set while we are looking as a BD candidate. So we have hired those candidates, and the adoption is growing, but that is not standardized yet.
I know, Nilima, I'll come to you in just a minute. You're looking at me. Don't worry, I'll come to you soon. Historically, Prasoon, degrees were a proxy for discipline. That means a discipline of how you study, the semesters and all of that. Yeah. But in today's market, has that signal become outdated, or does it still suffer a value that a skills certificate cannot give you? So, one hand, we have this certificate to say that, yeah, this guy has the skill. The other side, the degree that says I've gone to a discipline. Can we outplay one with the other? Prasoon, what's your take?
So, when you were just asking this question, I'm from Hindi land, and I'm very close to this poetry and shairi. So one thing came in my mind when you were just asking this question, and I think, guys, you will be able to relate to it. It's related to ishq. Okay, so सितारों के आगे जहां और भी हैं, इसके इम्तिहां अभी और भी हैं. So सितारों के आगे जहां means why this came in my mind is, sitara is like your education system, your degree, right? There are a lot beyond that, and I think the certification which we are talking about today, I will little digress from this particular question. I will go back to the previous panelist when they were talking about authenticity. I think that gentleman has gone. He was talking about we need to be authentic, and in terms of setting the expectation and giving the feedback also, right? I think coming back, how much authentic you are towards learning a skill, that comes out from your certification. Okay, so for example, all of you had raised your hand that skill is more important because we are being hired on skill, right? All of you has raised this hand, right? The reality is, how many of you are getting checked on a specific skill at the time of hiring? Even organizations, at least I'm coming from an IT services company, even we are not very sure in for which kind of technology we are going to put in once we will hire you in the organization. Okay, so typically you are not getting hired on a specific skill. You are getting hired on the ability to acquire the skill, and that comes from, again, somebody was talking about the trust, that once you acquire a degree, that trust come into the picture, that okay, this person has completed the BTech program. Oh, it means this person has gone through a typical way of learning, and he has that mindset of learning. Correct? So I will say that certifications are adding a lot. Okay, lot of value basically. So this is, your certification is the intiha beyond the sitara. So it's very important to get a certification, but at the same time, going through the typical way of learning during our academics are extremely important. This is which I believe, and it's not only about learning a specific subject, But once you go through a typical way of education system, you learn a lot. You learn beyond the technology and the subjects or the academic part which is there in your curriculum. You learn a lot of the softer aspect which you can't be learning sitting at home or without having a specific degree. Okay, so that is something which is extremely important.
Okay, and I have to bring in Nilima in, otherwise I'm too close to her. Okay, Nilima, here's the question. Do you agree to this thought of beyond the Sitare? What do you want to add?
Yes, I would share a real-time example. I think I'm a great believer of company organizational culture. What do you mean by culture in real time? At Pratilipi, we always tell our employees, be curious in general about everything. Understand where you are applying for the job, what is the job, what this job demands as an outcome. That way, tailor your all the interview questions. I think you are halfway there. Now, answering to your question, I was interviewing one candidate, and this guy took almost 5 minutes to explain 2 lines in English. फिर मैंने कहा कि यार इंग्लिश में अगर कंफर्टेबल नहीं हो तो हिंदी में बात करते हैं. तो हिंदी में उसने 1 घंटा बात करा. And guess what? He got hired with 20 lakhs of package. He is a fresher. So I would say job versus skills, it matters. Job भी होनी चाहिए, skill भी आनी चाहिए, but until unless you don't open your mouth, not sure what you want in life, you are nowhere. So have that realization what you want and then stitch job and skill both.
You remind me of a phrase that I read many years back in the book. It says like this: you need to know what you want to get, and when you get it, know how to keep it, because when you lose it, you may never get it back. It all starts with knowing yourself and what you want and what you must do to keep it. But today's world has changed. It's not just about what you can keep, it's about how you can multiply it. So on that note, I'm going to multiply this effect that we have today on the crowd, which is very quiet. Reason 1 could be you're really enjoying, or reason 2 is you're physically here, mentally or perhaps not here. Let's do a sense check. Anybody from this crowd, and especially my eyes going right up to the one that's right on the the last tier of this particular auditorium here, if you're sitting here and you can hear me, you want to ask a question to any of us here regarding this particular topic, please feel free to add. And here is the perk for you. If you are the first one to ask this question, what we will do for you, we promise to spend, whichever one you choose, 15 minutes of chai time with you just to help you understand what you must do for yourself. Go for it. Oh, there the hand. It worked, yeah. So
And for free, huh?
and it's for free, by the
We
way.
are also around.
Anybody at the back, quick. So it's working.
Hello everyone, my name is Atlan. My question is directly for Birlasoft. You mentioned that almost all of your code is being generated by AI. So my question has 2 parts. First of all, how much of that is reviewed by AI? And second part is, how does that change the landscape for us as a fresher, particularly me as an SD? How should I demonstrate that in my resume that I can orchestrate AIs to generate code or review it?
Good question. I knew this was coming the moment I said that. We want our engineers to be reviewing code. Now, let's be honest, right? Like, when AI write code, you are actually giving some instructions to the AI, right? So there's some context that you give to the AI so that you know that the code is decent enough, it works the way that you want. Now imagine 100 engineers using AI to write code, and then you're putting them into production. All while you have 500 customers whose tenants are running and live. Think about the orchestration architecture that needs to be put for CI/CD like this, right? That's where humans come in. So one of the things that we strongly believe at Atlan that AI has not replaced yet is judgment. I will not rely on AI for its judgment. I'll rely on AI for helping me multiplying the output or the productivity I can as an individual, but the judgment has to be mine. And engineering is a mindset, by the way. Coding is a skill maybe, right? So we apply the engineering mindset for our engineers to review code, work with AI to get the 10x version of them out, right? To answer the second part of your question as to what does it mean for a fresher who's entering the workforce right now, I think as long as you can highlight that you are able to leverage AI to get outcomes, creative thinking, judgment, problem solving, these are all still human and they should stay human. But you leverage AI to get an outcome or output that makes sense to you based on all these things that you are taking a call on. So when I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, will have your GitHub profiles and everything. When you experiment, when you play around, when you kind of come up with, hey, here's a product idea. I don't know if it's a product idea, but I want to go and try this out and see if this makes sense. Always think, don't jump to coding. Don't jump or don't have your AI start building things for you. Always think this through. What I like to do specifically is, I don't call it as a PRD, so to say, but I like to kind of put on my requirements on a sheet and say, hey, here's what I have, here's what I want, and here's what the outcome should look like. I'll even go to the extent wherein I'm very prescriptive to my AI to say, this is essentially this color, this palette, here's the kind of buttons I need, here's what these buttons should be doing. I'm just saying for a SPA if I were to develop today. So essentially that's the level of thought process that you need to apply, coming back to the engineering mindset. Then let AI go and do what would have taken you 2 weeks of hand coding time. AI can do that in like 20 minutes or so. So leverage AI wherein there is strength. Don't outsource your judgment to AI. That's what my recommendation or advice would be to anybody who's entering the workforce at this point of time. Companies are looking for people who can work with AI to bring in more impact, to bring in more productivity gains. Very few companies are actually looking at AI to replace their people. They're looking for productivity gain. No company starts with, I want AI so that I can replace my people. Everybody is thinking about, how do I improve productivity? How do I get more impact, etc. I hope that answers your question.
So Rishi, I know he can talk the next 2 hours on that topic.
I also want to add one.
Yeah, I'll
thing.
give you, but I think what's essential is in the long descriptive response, don't forget 2 things, is the human in the loop.
Yes.
That's the critical piece, the human in the loop. That can never be replaced. Nilima, to you.
Okay.
And just before you start, I know this is not right, but the time bomb is ticking on us, and I don't know why they kept such a big, stopwatch over there. Maybe you should look this side and talk, omit it.
Yes.
But try and be a little bit more probably
I will just be very
crisper.
quick.
Thank you so much.
I think to answer your questions, don't worry about the corporate world. You will have your seniors to do your code reviews, and that's in their KPIs. Okay, they cannot shy away from it. We are here to make you or give you that environment to grow organically and not to be fully relying on AI. So do not have that AI first mindset.
I would just take 30 seconds because I want to answer.
I'll give you 60 because you made me looking around. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so I don't agree with both of you completely, to be very honest, because the company like Trilogy Innovations, there was a coding test last week. How many of you took the test? Once you join any AI, fast-paced company, because we are using AI to the fullest. We don't want you to code. If you code, we don't want you. You have to use Cursor, you have to use Claude Code, and I know many friends who are working at US-based startup companies. We definitely don't want you to write a single piece of code. If you do it, you're not the right person for us. Okay? Second thing is, the code that you're writing, there might be some bugs. Answering your question, you should be smart enough to fix that bug. That is the only reason we expect you to be good at your basics. Second thing, adding a point to yours, like there are seniors, who will review your code. I don't know if you have the patience, but definitely not in our team. Once, twice, it's okay. But if it is happening repeatedly, if you're interning somewhere for 2 months, and someone has to review your work again and again, you're not able to take the ownership, you're not able to fix it on your own, then I'm sorry you will not get the PPO. I'm sorry making it harsh, quick, because I just want to give you the real-time exposure insight, like what really happens. Okay, because if you are working somewhere, you would not have the patience to do your work and to guide and mentor someone completely, right? Because in the internship, you have to figure out, okay, this is the person, he's able to take the ownership end to end, and this might be the right fit. So a quick takeaway, make sure that your CV has 4 projects. 2 projects you should build on your own, everything from the basic development part, 2 projects should be completely AI, right? You know, even the coding part. So it shows that you are good at using AI tools. And second thing is, if there is anything that goes wrong, like your fundamentals are clear and you're able to fix it.
You know, one of the part of being the moderator is whose side will you take, whose side you won't take. So I'll take the middle path. I'll come to your question. After the time bomb bursts, if they allow, then your questions. But right now, allow me to finish what I have to say. I have a job at hand. Let me finish that. Otherwise, they will just make me disappear from here. So the part I want to say is horses for courses. What works for you doesn't work for her. What works for her doesn't work for you. So I think the idea is keeping the curiosity bulb on in your head always, where you are, what you are doing. And I promise to keep it real swift, so I will. And I'll quickly move on to this question, and I will start this time with Nilima, who's been quiet for some time. So Nilima, to you back. Beyond the changing job descriptions and the HR systems and the algorithms that actually read to process the candidate who have the talent but don't have the pedigree, as a recruiter, what would you run for, the pedigree or the showcase talent?
Thanks for the question. I wanted to answer on this. You know what? LLMs are built after a lot of behavioral pattern study, right? If you look at any ATS or any AI platform, it gives you a filtration criteria. Filter it by top colleges, filter it by the CGPA what this person has achieved, filter it by top Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 companies and colleges, then startups, mid-size MNCs, company size. All this study has been already done and it was given to LLM. It has studied over the time, and that's how we are now seeing the response on our different AI platforms. To answer your question, I think we are not fully there where the HR system is balanced, giving a 100% exposure between HR and the AI and the systematic, how this process, how the CVs are getting processed and how they are getting evaluated and what is the outcome of it. We are on the way, we are evolving. What I would prioritize is how do we create a better portfolio along with the degrees and job wherever you are applying for.
Brilliant. I'm going to make it more difficult to them. 1.5 minutes is what you get to answer. Anything beyond that, please shut the microphone off. No, I'm joking. Don't take me wrong. Okay, so Prasun, to you, very important. So now we are saying that it is a mix. Yeah, it's like the sand without the ocean can't survive.
Big yes.
Okay. So now tell me, does shifting to skill-based hiring genuinely democratize the opportunity for a whole lot of people, or does it simply create, in my language, a new arms race for expensive micro certifications?
No, I don't think so. I think it's an important aspect, and I in fact I answered your question in my previous talk when I was talking about. It's very important to have this, certifications, etc., and the skill on top of your academic degrees. Why it is? Because see, skill-based hiring, why it is happening, we need to understand, we need to see the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is all the customers. Dassault system is sitting here, so they were our customer when I was working in my previous organization. Every year they used to cut our rate, right? So it's happening. Customers are reducing the rate, and being a IT services company, what exactly will you do? You also have to optimize somewhere. So you need, now those days are gone when Infosys used to have Masoor kind of a system, 3 months, 6 month learning program, then deploying into the project, right? So we need people plug and play kind of, and let's be very honest on that. We all need, and today we go to the college and say, do you have ServiceNow certified people? Do you have Salesforce certified people? Hey, we need full stack trained developers in etc. All these things we talk about, correct? Why we talk about, and then we see the how many certified people on X you have or Y you have, because we want at least those certifications are giving us a kind of a confidence that okay, this person has at least learned some percentage out of that particular technology. So it will help us reducing time in further training them, and I can reduce my revenue leakage time when I will hire this person and deploy in the project. So it's very important. and I think there is no I would say so-called difficult situation which has been created all around for the students. I think it's very clear. You take a degree, you add on to it. It's like cherry on the cake. Simple thing.
I know all of them have responsibility, but I'll probably give 1 minute to anybody on the panel who wants to address this.
I think having a generalist mindset while preparing depth or learning more depth and understanding one area of specialization while keeping a generalist mindset, I think that for me is how you succeed, because natural curiosity and passion to learn, those are more important than just having certificates.
Brilliant. So passion to learn, continuous learning. Great.
Yeah, and I would just like to add on this particular point. Very, very well said. I think it's important, and it also showcase that, for example, if you have a certification and I am, let's say, interviewing 4 people who have gone through my test and all, and there are 4 people and I have to choose one out of those 4. Now one has some additional certifications. Even if I don't require that skill, but I will choose that person because that person has some curiosity in him or her. He has done something beyond it. He wants to learn. He is more curious. He wants to be relevant. He wants to showcase something. Fire in the belly. That is something which is very important.
And I think continuous learning is so much spoken about these, and the more you keep doing this, it just testifies the fact that you're somebody who's never done with learning. Okay, Annapurna, to you. And this is going to be like a rapid fire because that bomb is getting closer. All right, so rapid fire to you. Skill or degree? Annapurna, quickly in 1 minute, what would you hire and why?
So as I told you, I prefer both, but generally nowadays most of the companies are moving towards skill-based hiring.
Okay.
So I also prefer the same thing.
So both. Sakshi?
For me, it's a blend of both. Degree and skill. With the help of degree, you can build your foundation, and with the help of skill, like by doing certification, industry trainings, and by having some skill-based platform training, you can grab certain opportunities. So it's a combination of both.
Nilima?
I would say I will first choose skill with heavy problem solving skills.
Heavy problem solving skills. I don't know how you're going to test that. I'm yet to
I
know.
think there is a very nice concept called flywheel. Imagine that Flipkart is a business and you are an engineer over there. You are just resolving some bug around mid of 3 in the night, and somehow you slept, the code was deleted, and the entire system was down for 4 hours. Right? You should understand what is the depth of impact you are making in the business. If you are able to figure out in your early stage, then you would be the top one in the industry.
Archana?
Yeah. So I would say both again, but yeah, I would prioritize skills. If it would be my personal take on.
Rishi?
Skills followed by degree, but how you portray and share your skills are more important to me than what degree you hold.
Super. So I think we're just...
And you didn't ask me.
Because I have another question for you. That's why I didn't ask you this question. No, if you want to answer, please go ahead.
No. I just wanted to pull your leg that it's a wrong question.
To you? Okay, I think what's important is that we go back with the take. That's the most important thing. We've heard so much. I think that it's a clear verdict. And to say that skill without a degree is that talks about the regime, the methodology, the proof that you've studied something. And skill is a great example that tells you how you utilize the degree in your day-to-day work, and you keep learning and you keep increasing your knowledge base. We're 24 seconds short, but I am not shy of asking one more question from the audience, anybody here, and I promise you that they will answer real quick.
So are we hiring people with real skills, or are we hiring people with AI assisted outcomes? This is my first question.
Everybody is ready to answer.
This is my first question.
Who are you directing the
you're
question?
allowed for only one question, sorry.
This can be addressed.
No, I gave you 30 seconds. I was gracious by 15 seconds more.
Right.
Your prompt has to be right, then the outcome is also right.
This question is addressed to Prasoon and Rishi.
Okay.
And in the next 5 years, what does matter more to you? So now first, I'll give you 3 options. So learning agility, or real skills, or you can say degree, right? And also one more interesting point,
more.
which came into my
No,
mind.
no, no.
With the
Go ahead, I'm kidding.
with the advent of
He should
AI,
have been on the panel, I guess.
I know.
with the advent of AI, will degrees become more irrelevant, or elite degrees will become more meaningful? These are my questions.
Super.
See, AI is something which has to be used intelligently. And I was talking with some of you during the lunch time. Today we are talking about AI in the similar way how we were talking about plastic 35-40 years ago, and you see today how we are talking about plastic now. So I think until we use AI intelligently, it's going to be very, very, very dangerous. Okay, and I'll give you. Sorry, I'll take 45 seconds. So another thing is very important. There was a study done by MIT, and the outcome was very crucial. And the outcome is 95% of people were not able to remember one single line what they had written a minute before with the help of AI. 95% people were not able to remember one single sentence which they had written a minute before with the help of AI. Second finding was the cognitive ability of people are going down by 60% if they are heavily dependent on AI. So my take would be, don't first ask AI about anything. First ponder your thoughts and then ask AI to beautify it or to put some more into it. That's what, and this is how the most of the organizations are going to use AI. I think we were talking about AI, human with AI, that's very important. But human with AI with human intelligence is something which is very, very important and crucial.
So I think before AI, imagine if you're stuck in a problem, you must be thinking, यार ये भी कर लेते हैं, वो भी कर लेते हैं, 10 चीज़ें try करते हैं, then funnel down to one. Now I am sure 99% sitting under this roof, they must be asking AI कि यार I'm stuck here, what I should do, and then think from all those 10 options. Don't do that.
This as a challenge, like you are freshers, how do you blend in with people who are already working? Trust me, like people who are working with Trilogy from last 5 years, 7 years, they did not start with AI first approach, right? So like when AI started coming initially, we did this a mandate for everyone, like how you call AI plus human. So we call this activity as second brain. So say for example, you have to do something, you have to do a task. So what you do is you pick an approach. Okay, this is how I'm going to solve this problem. Now you go to ChatGPT, you give the same problem and get the approach. You see AI's approach and your approach, you evaluate which is better. Keep doing this practice for 21 days and that is how you get better. You upskill yourself and you get better at becoming a good problem solver. Trust me, whatever is relevant today, what skill set is required today, we also don't know what will be relevant in the industry tomorrow. The only people we are looking for is someone who is a good problem solver. If you're a good problem solver, you can learn anything overnight. You learn something in your college, tomorrow you join a project, you don't know like what text you're supposed to use, right? But you are proactive, you are agile, then you can learn anything overnight. You cannot go and complain to your manager, no, this was not taught to me, or you did not ask me this in the interview. This does not work. Okay?
Yeah.
Learning agility, real skills, and a degree. If you look at them as separate things, then we have, I think that's gonna be not just me answering, a lot of us will have to sit together and solve for it. But like my view is the degree should be able to give you the basic skills. I talked about being a generalist. So what is needed for you to be a generalist while you develop one specialization that you want to grow on? I think that's what the job of the degree should be. If the degree is not able to bring in the right learning agility or a mindset to learn, we need more work there.
Yeah.
I don't think those fundamentals are going to change.
I think
Just one thing, don't get into this trap. Today I see a lot of people are saying, hey, degree की जरूरत नहीं है यार, skill है, अपना coding जानते हैं ना, +2 के बच्चों को hire कर रहा है Google. I'll tell you, boss, don't get into that trap. Okay, and I will tell you why. Of course, since there is a paucity of time, but maybe
over the chai.
Yeah, over the chat, or you can research yourself. It's very important to get a degree, a formal way of education. It teaches you a lot more than what you think of.
Yeah, and I probably add just 2 lines before we close. In the age of artificial intelligence, what is required, my friend, is initial intelligence.
Absolutely.
If you don't have the initial intelligence, then your artificial intelligence will remain artificial for the rest of your life. Number one. Having said that, I think what we agreed today is that skill and degrees cannot be separated. People always will have a testament when your degree is to tell you who you are, what you've studied, the structured way, and skills are a way for you to show that while you work that I have added this additional knowledge, and hereby I prove that I'm just not a degree, I am beyond a particular degree. So on that note, I want to thank my panelists. Thank you so much. You've been fabulous. A round of applause, and the audience as well. All of you have been wonderful. Thank you, Galgotias, for having us over. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't play the game, I play the man. So it's not about what you have just studied theoretically, it's about how well you can implement it, what kind of skills you have learned. To address and discuss the most awaited topic, hiring for degree or skills, the new trend in the age of AI, I would like to invite to explore this topic our final panelist members, Mr. Swarnanidhi Rao, moderator for this one from Dentsu, Ms. Nilima Sahu from Pratilipi, Mr. Prabhanjan Prasoon from Birlasoft, Ms. Sakshi Sen from Insight, Ms. Annapurna Badoria from FarEye, Mr. Arbando Banerjee from Atlan and Miss Archana Ghai from Trilogy. We welcome you on stage and the stage is all yours. Please lit it on fire with all kind of quirky questions and detailed discussions. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I was just expecting this. We'll try it one more time.